Alright, today is the 36th anniversary of the Challenger disaster. I hope to fast 36 hours in remembrance of what happened 36 years ago today. It's kind of fitting to do one for a space anniversary because fasting in its own right has been a sort of exploration for me. I started in earnest, I've done other fasts before, but I really started in earnest at the turn of the year in 2020 because in 2019 I had a lot of social strife with my eating disorder. See, when I talk to people about how I needed to normalize my relationship with food, a lot of people comment that they don't ever remember me being overweight. And the truth is, I was never really overweight. The problem is that eating disorders don't just cause you to become obese or develop type 2 diabetes or heart disease or all the other things that come with all the physical risks that come with being obese. It also comes with a lot of social drama of needing to get to your favorite food, of having food cravings in inopportune times. Just the other night, I do private tutoring over Zoom. Just the other night, I was witnessing a student going through a food attack. He was stuffing food while I was teaching him, and he was talking with his mouth full, and he probably thinks it's okay over Zoom. But in the back of my mind, I'm hurting, but not for myself, but for him, because I know what that feels like, and I'm hurting for him, and I'm so glad I'm so far removed from that. But that's what I used to deal with. I would want to mingle with people, and I couldn't handle that. So I started intermittent fasting. I don't think I did one for Challenger in 2020. I did it for 2021, the 35th anniversary. My first 48-hour fast I did at the beginning of Lent in 2020. You know, most challenges in life, right? Once you cross a certain threshold enough times, you get used to it. Right? I remember when I was living with my family in Pittsburgh. We lived in a suburb called Murraysville, and I used to love to go take a walk from my parents' home into Murraysville. And there was a favorite store that I loved to walk to, but I really couldn't imagine myself walking further than that store. And the very first time I crossed the line and went further than that, it didn't take long before I was regularly going further than that store, right? To the store and back would be a very short trip for me. But unfortunately, fasting hasn't worked that way. I can fast 16 hours without much of a thought. In fact, most days I do it without even noticing I've already gone 16 hours. But post 16, I don't think I've ever gotten accustomed to, especially post 24. If I have to go the full waking day and into the night fasting, I still have not made that a routine event, right? And so that's why I said fasting is almost like space exploration for me. That I still have not made it a routine. Right now, it's only in the exploration phase, right? It's not quite in the commercial travel kind of phase, right? I hope to make it that way, right? Fasting 16 hours is kind of in the commercial travel phase, right, if you will. Now, there is something else I want to explore. I need to get better at setting boundaries. I just had to move out of a house that I was sharing with I was living with the landlord. What had happened was I'm never going to rent from another Asian person because a lot of Asians feel like we treat each other like one big family. And I'm going to have to think hard about how I handle this. But he thinks he knows how I want to live my life more so than I do. He comments on every little detail. The final straw that broke the back was I had a stressful day at work, and I came home and he wants to adjust the lighting as I'm eating. He thinks, oh, do you need lighting? And I wanted to ignore him because I had a stressful day. And he turns on lights and I think I'm old enough to worry for myself. I don't need him worrying for me. He worries about my choice of food. I thought I had set that boundary with him, but he continued to worry about that. I recommend it if you're gonna live with your landlord. Choose one of a different skin color. Just my own thoughts on that. Similarly, I would recommend if you're if you want to date somebody with a different skin color. I dated a couple Asians before, and you end up feeling more like brother and sister than like a couple. Uh, but I need to get better at setting boundaries. Either way. Uh, anyway, happy exploring. Condolences to the Challenger crew. Happy fasting if you're mourning what's going on. Thanks for watching.